google.com/DFP. And as you can see, our meeting is going to be recorded today so that you can go back and review, or others can watch along. This will not record your faces. It will only record the presentation. So as with our students, the expectation is that your camera is on, because we're going to want all of our students to have their camera on as they enter our classrooms on Monday. Last reminder, we're here to help. We're all in this together, and with all of us working to support one another, we'll do the best for our kids and make great things happen. So let's turn it over to Jennifer. She has a great presentation planned for you, and I hope you learn a lot today. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Scott. I am a teacher over at Compton Junior High School, and I'm in my classroom with the whiteboard behind me. I'm experimenting with how I can teach my students. When you go to this link, notice that it's going to ask you to copy it. That's because we have so many people in this room. I'm actually afraid this is like the biggest group I've ever done. So please, please, please stay muted. Use the chat to ask questions. Carrie is here to answer those questions in the chat. The biggest request is to be patient, be positive this year. We are all learning together, and the Tech TLT, we're here for you. Stay unplugged and present. Be expected to make lots of mistakes, and understand that this is a safe place to learn. So hopefully we have some ideas for you that you will absolutely enjoy. Our core priorities are not changing. Just because we are now digital does not mean that we're not working together. In fact, we're working with each other even more today. We are still focusing on those students and getting them to learn. Listening to the presentation my principal and vice principal gave yesterday, I'm very confident we're going to get those teachers on. Next, the culture of teaching and learning. We're going to be doing this and knowing that not all of our students have access, but our district is more prepared than any other district to take care of this. Now, Carrie, I have a question. I keep on hearing like a doorbell.
Yes. Someone is taking care of that. Don't have to worry about that, Jennifer.
Okay. If I'm hearing it and I'm getting annoyed, I was wondering if anyone else was getting annoyed.
It's just for you and the host, so don't worry.
Okay. So our academic priorities basically were centered in Google Classroom, and students are going to be reading and comprehending grade level text. How are we going to get it to them? Through Google Classroom. Students are going to be listening, speaking, reading, and writing in various activities in Google Classroom. And they're going to be engaged in mathematical tasks, and they're going to do inquiry learning. This is what we are going to continue. Now, I ask a favor. Could you go to this Google form? It is ECZ, it's go.bcsd.com/ECZ and answer 3 questions. Also, in the chat, I am looking for 10 volunteers. So if you can volunteer, say I volunteer and put your name in the chat, and then go complete this survey. I'll talk to you guys in just a moment.
What are we volunteering for?
Oh, I should explain that.
Thank
you. My volunteers are going to join a sample Google Classroom. And I am going to demonstrate how to do a collaborative assignment and how to do small group as well. But since I don't know how many people are in this group, I can't have everyone there. So I was just thinking a good number, 10 people. So you will be completing assignments in front of everyone in this presentation.
So I do not volunteer for tribute, thank you.
Okay.
Also, Jennifer, if just real quick, if you did not write your name and your school site into the chat, please do that as well. Thank you.
I see Justin, I see Tina.
Yes, you got plenty of volunteers.
Okay. And I may just stop at a smaller number.
It's fine.
Is everyone completing that form? All right. So while you're completing this form, I am going to add the people who volunteered to this example class. I got Devin. Okay. I might just have a couple of people because I'm going to need to get on right now. All right, so I have 5 people who are in the class. Okay, so what I'm going to do, thank you for your patience with me. So we went to the form. Let's go ahead and look at those results. So I'm in Google Classroom, not Google Classroom, I'm in a Google form, and because I own this, I'm going to click on the pencil in the right bottom. I'm first going to see my questions that I asked. And then, oh my gosh, 221 responses. Here is a beautiful, beautiful part. How long have you been using Google Classroom? We have 232 responses, and we have a pie chart so we can figure out that math. Yes? So we have people who have used it for 5 or more years. That's 27% of you. 16% have used it for 4 years. 18%, notice the numbers are changing as people add to this. Very nice. And some people are less than a year. Now, it's quite possible the people who are less than a year are also on their 2nd year of teaching. So welcome. And then we have responses. Now, it gets a little cumbersome looking at all this information. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. Easy to navigate, accessibility, organization, scheduling. By the way,
Jennifer, can you make it bigger? I'm sorry, there was some questions.
Yes, I can do a control plus sign. You guys see that control plus sign? All right, by the way, control plus makes it bigger. Control 0 takes it back to normal. Control negative is smaller. So this is what we like about Google Classroom. I saw that someone says about scheduling. I will tell you that one of my ed tech friends has created an add-on where you can, I'll talk about that later, but you can schedule to multiple classes at the same time. It's pretty awesome. I saw it last night. And I've asked you for what are some projects that you have used, and I said slides. I specifically said slides, and that's because I love Google Slides. Now, before we move on, in the presentation, the responses are at the bottom. And Carrie, if you can put this into the chat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide some information because we don't need it all. Notice what I am doing in front of you guys, because I would expect you guys to be able to do this with your students. Now you can read everyone else's results. And you can come back to this later. So the 3 people who have joined me in here, we're gonna put the link into the chat. Carrie's gonna take care of that. You can come in here and you can see what do people like about Google Classroom. You can find out what are some projects people have done and use this in your own classroom. So we value responses, all 272 of them. Love the fact that 28% of you have been using Google Classroom for more than 5 years. And let's get on with this presentation. I'm going to do a control 0 because I need to go back to normal. All right, so collaborative assignments. Thank you, Justin and Devin, for adding yourselves. And I only added a few of you because I needed to move on with this presentation. Anthony, Amy, and Nicole, if you will go ahead and add yourselves to my Google Classroom that I just sent you. How do you know you're successful in this assignment? We are going to create collaborative assignments. We need something quick for our students, and giving students single assignments is not time efficient. You're going to see why I love this. Feedback. We're going to need to give feedback. Let our students know how well of a job they are doing and how they can improve. And you know you're successful because you're going to create a small group assignment. Now, for those people who have been here for 5 years and you want extras, we took the time to create something for you. So at the end of this presentation, don't go there now. Please participate with us. You're going to learn all these cool things. So, collaborative assignments are awesome. As you can see in this example, I have created an assignment called This Is Who I Am. Now, Hannah Banana, she's my fake student, she has a slide. Linda has a slide, Carlos has a slide, Wyatt has a slide, and Crystal has a slide. And everyone can see each other's work. Guaranteed, in the very beginning, it's a little crazy. But when students learn the parameters, which is only write on your slide and make comments on someone else's, then it goes much smoother. It is also possible to do a collaborative doc. So this is an advanced Google Classroom. Notice that this is from 2nd grade. 2nd grade students know to put their name and then to write their comments. Let's go ahead and do this. Now, before I move on, do you see this picture of a little movie? What you can do is you can click on this later, and it's going to take you back to the DFP website. Not only does it have the directions, when it comes up, it also has a video that will take you through the process so you can see what to do. So once again, later, you can click on this link and you can watch a video to show you how to do this. And let's go into Google Classroom. And let's see if my people have joined me. Amy has joined me, Nicole, Justin, Devin, that's my daughter and that's my fake student. And this is where I'm going to go. To create an assignment, you know this answer. You click on Create, you click on Assignment. Well, I like numbering my assignments because it organizes it for me. And I'm going to call this Is Who I Am. I love emojis, and you're not going to be able to see this, but what I'm doing is I'm holding my Windows button and I'm holding the period, and I'm going to choose an emoji that says open the slide deck. And I'm going to have, I'm using that shortcut again. And the shortcut is the flag plus the period that's above the alt sign. And my directions are write your name. I'm going to say add a slide and write your name. And then I want to have images, which I'm going to go ahead and find an emoji because I like emojis. The emojis are especially good for the younger kids, but I love them in 7th grade because it makes a clear distinction. This is what you do in your steps. Insert images that show who you are. All right. I absolutely love to have topics, and it's going to be August 17th to 21st, ELA, because it's my ELA class. And you knew this because you've been teaching this for 5 years. You've been teaching this for 1 year. You know this. But what I want to point out is this create. This did not exist 5 years ago. I do not have to go into Google Drive to create what I want. I'm going to create my slides. And it's automatically going to open into a new window for me. Saves me time. I love this. I'm going to name it. And this is for my period 1 class. All right, magic. Watch this. You see this title right here? Watch this. Up in the top corner, I touch, and bam, it named it for me. I type it once, I touch, and it named it for me. It only works 1 time when you create the document. All right, so what's gonna happen is I have my title, instructions, I have my presentation. Here's the biggie. I must change this to students can edit. Everyone who opens this slide deck can edit and assign. Now, this is where my helpers are coming in, you guys. So I have Anthony, Nicole, Justin, Devin. What I'd like you to do is open up assignment number 2. And I would like you to click on the slide deck. And when you do, I'm going to see you. Yay. So Anthony has already joined us. That's Nicole, because I know that. Justin, shout out to Devin Rossiter. He is a Google Innovator. He presented his project for the London 19 Academy this morning. It was awesome. I got to watch it. And I see Brooke is here. So here are your directions. Over in the top left corner, I would like you to add a slide. You could just click on enter, just like that. When you make a slide, put your name on it immediately. So I'm going to do that myself. And I'm going to call it teacher. It's okay if we make mistakes and duplicate. So your job is to write your name at the top. I see Tony has already done this. Now, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to insert an image. I could go up to insert here, but I believe it's less work to insert from this picture. I am going to select web, and I love sunflowers, so I'm going to put a picture of a sunflower. I want you to put a minimum of 3 pictures. So your directions, name, and then insert from the web 3 images. While my helpers are doing this for me, I'm going to point something out at the bottom corner. Right now, we are in film strip view. This is actually, that should be grid view. I go back. This is what I normally see. And down in the bottom left, I can see everyone working at the same time. So that was Anthony's. He's doing the pictures of the bicycle. We have Devin, who's almost done because he's a Google Innovator and he has pictures of him at the Academy. I see Nicole is putting pictures. Oh girl, I want to go with you, please. And Brooke, Sarah rocks. Compton's awesome too. I gotta give that shout out. I can see students working at the same time. This is amazing. I love it. So I'm going to do this for you guys one more time. I'm going to create. Everyone who is in this presentation knows to create an assignment. I'm going to call it my favorite music. This is a good way to get to know students. I absolutely will have a topic, and my topic's going to be August 17th to 21st, so it organizes. For time's sake, I'm not going to do emojis, but I'm just going to show you that I don't know why I put ja. I was trying to put happy, and I misspelt it. But the emojis is the flag and the period, and write instructions.
Jennifer, quick question.
Yes.
Can the student see all the other slides like you just showed with the teacher view, or is that just
Yes.
teacher?
And that is actually the benefit of it, because what happens is, one, students are learning from each other. What, you can do that? I didn't know how to do that. Two, when a student gets stuck, they look at their student. We did this with Phenomenal Woman, and the students had to do analyze Phenomenal Woman. No single student had the exact same writing. They all had something different. They put different images, they put different fonts to support their writing. They learned from each other. And for that one kid who would like to copy, she always got called out by the other students, so it took care of itself. I have a title. I have a topic. I'm going to click on create. And we're going to do slides. I could do docs as well. There is wonderful collaboration in Google Sheets too when you feel comfortable. I'm going to call this my favorite music. And I'm okay with this mistake right now. Up in the top corner, it says untitled presentation. Bam! Now it says my favorite music. I'm going to come back to the assignment. And I'm going to select students can edit. And of course, I'm going to assign. I'm not a big fan of me talking for an entire hour. So your job right now is to do the following. I want you to go into your Google Classroom. I want you to create a collaborative Google Slides or Docs. Here are some ideas. Create who I am question. That's okay. Who I am, I see a typo. Or for history, describe a real or imaginary place you would like to visit, because we're going to be getting into geography in the very beginning. Math, oh my gosh, math. Can you imagine students will share a math problem on a Google Slides? That is awesome. So in this case, it's identify how math is used in an everyday situation, but you could have this student's math problem where everyone sees it. Science, name an important scientific discovery and why. Music, name your favorite artist. PE, let's talk sports teams. So let me go ahead. It is 10:14. Let me give you guys about, let's say 5 minutes. And your job is to go into Google Classroom and create a collaborative assignment using slides. Sound good? One thing that I'm going to do while we're doing this is I'm going to use my timer up at the top. This is an extension called timer, and I'm going to set it for 5 minutes. Please go into your Google Classroom and create a collaborative assignment. The directions are on the previous slide.
There was a question, how do you make sure that a student doesn't pick another student's slide and like start writing on someone else's?
All right, to answer, do you guys mind me talking while you work, I hope? the answer to that is I can see who's on the slide. I see Anthony is here, Devin is here, Nicole is here, Amy is here, and Justin is here. I can see exactly where they are, and I can have that conversation with the student. We have to set parameters. You're only allowed to write on your own. And I have had a student try to make a comment and say, hey, troll. And it's crazy in the beginning, but it's worth it. When you're done in the chat, let us know that you're done. And when we have a good number of people done, I'll move on. Alondra, go to emojipedia.com.
And you may want to point out about in your presentation where you have the little video camera.
Yes, right there. I'm seeing a good number of people are done and we still have 3 minutes done. Catherine had a question, Carrie. Do you know what that question was?
Let me look.
Jen, I've been trying to keep up with the questions and answer the ones for you, but some of them, they're coming pretty quick. So sorry, I missed that one too.
Not a
No,
problem.
you're doing a good job, Montreal, believe me.
Oh no, I think, Catherine, I think we got you. Timer extension, love it. I think we got you.
Okay, and the timer extension is listed on the website. If you go to our website, and there's a section specifically on Chrome extensions, and it's linked there, and it has a description. All right, so we have people who are done. Is it okay if I move on, everyone?
Yeah, a lot of dones. So
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop my timer and we're gonna continue. All right, I felt successful there. Now, feedback. Let's talk feedback for a moment, because how are we gonna get feedback if students aren't in the class with us? Well, you guys remember the shortcut, Control-Alt-M. That is to make a comment. To close the comment, you just hit enter. We also want to have private comments in the actual assignment. So let me show you what I mean. And if we have time, I'll demonstrate it. But I'm thinking this is something where you guys are good. So here is an example of a student's work. What I did is I just put my cursor right above the word dog, did Control-Alt-M, and I typed a comment. This is not my favorite way to do this because my students will resolve it, which irritates me. This is more of my liking. In this case, do you see where it says private comments right down here? That's where I prefer to write my comments, because a student can't delete them. And even better than that, we can have an actual conversation. So this is Giselle. Giselle created a website blog and she gave me the link and she's talking to me and I'm responding to her. Over on the left-hand side, I can just click on Lila's and I can comment. I can click on Matthew and I can comment. So absolutely use the private comments. We teach junior high and our students have phones. When you write a private comment, the message goes to their phone and they will respond to you. Also put on do not disturb, because students will respond back to you at 1 o'clock and try to wake you up. So put that on your phone. I absolutely love using rubrics on writing assignments. It makes things so much easier to score. I can score it in the grading console, or I can score it right here. Now, here is your assignment. you're going to create an assignment. Say, welcome to my class, and I'll demonstrate this right now. And you're going to return it without scores, and you're going to do a private comment. So let me show you what I mean. I'm clicking on create. I'm clicking on an assignment. I'm gonna call it welcome to our class, team Scott 17. And then directions, correct? What I'm gonna do is I'm not going to put this as a grade, and I will put it as a topic. Now, what I want to do is all we're doing is we're practicing how to send a student a comment at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to view the assignment. I'm going to go into this console, and I see Amy, Anthony, Nicole, Justin, Devin, my daughter, and Hannah Banana. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select all my students. When I click return, watch, I'm going to click return, and I can write a private comment to everyone at the same time. Welcome to Team Scott 17. I can't wait to see you at 8:15 a.m. on Monday, August 17th. See you there. And then you know what I'm gonna do? If you have a question, message me back. And I'm gonna click return. I just sent a message to all of my students at the same time. If they have their Google Classroom on their phone, which a lot of students do, they've received it. If they don't, well, they will see it soon. So here's your assignment that I'm going to give you. Go into your classroom that you already created. Most principals wanted to have those codes already. Click on create, make an assignment. And this time, I want you to return the assignment with a message. Are we good? Okay. So go ahead.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Hi, two things. One, can you slow down just a tad for some? And then also, they really think the blur thing is cool. So I don't know how to do that. It's something that I've never seen. I think I could probably figure it out, but your way is probably
It's
much more.
software.
It's software?
It's a program that I have. It's called, it's Snagit, and it's about $40 a year. It's well worth it. So it's
Yeah, you could also do it, like if you're doing it in a slide or something like that, you can do it by editing, like you could use that.
You can definitely do a workaround.
Yeah, you can do a workaround, but it is going to be more time consuming. You put a shape over it and then you make that shape translucent. And that'll do it, but your way is probably way faster.
So it's a program called Snagit, and it's installed on my computer.
And then we do have a few who would just like to slow down just a smidge.
All right,
Thank you.
it's 10:24. Would you like me to demonstrate it again?
Yes.
Jennifer, there was also a question of can we return to all of our classes at once, or do we have to
Yes,
do each
please.
class separately?
It is each class separately.
They would like for you to show that one more time.
All right. I do apologize. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create an assignment. I like to number, and what we're going to do is we're going to do share a math problem, because I know I have math teachers out there. And I don't know why I did it like that. We're doing welcome to our class, aren't we? Welcome to our class. So we have our title, yes. We always want to have a topic because we want to organize this. I'm going to go ahead and create a topic right now. And I'm going to just call this August 24th to 28th, and I probably have the wrong dates. And I like to put what class it is, even though I have a separate classroom for English and history. I'm still going to put what class it is right there. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to go view the assignment. I am going to select all students. And when I do that, I have the ability to, I have it as points. So I'm going to change this, excuse me. See how I can change it from ungraded to graded here? Now, what I should be able to do is I should be able to select it all. And notice the button becomes blue. It didn't do that at first because it recognized I didn't have any scores. I'm going to click return, and I'm going to write them a comment. I like to put my initials in front of it because it tells me I was the last person to speak. Welcome to our class. Please message me if you have a question. And I'm going to return it. At this time, all students have received the message. Now, can one of my volunteers pop in and message me back? Maybe Devin, Nicole, Anthony.
Oh, on the other one I did before.
Good, good. On this one, since I have it up. And then if you are done creating your assignments, if you could write done in the chat, it would be grateful. Yes, Christopher, I would do this with your actual classes. I would say, hi, hello. Thank you, Phil Compton. All right. Mr. Jacobs, hope you're liking your new school. Thank you, Ms. Gray. So that's how I can send mass, and it's one class at a time. Thank you. Now, there's tons of information in this presentation. I'm going to show it to you. You can learn about small group assignments. There are actual examples that you can look at on your own time. Directions, anytime you see this video thing, it means there's a video. Now, also in this presentation, let me show you something that's really cool. I'm just letting you know it's possible. This is a fancy font with emojis. Notice how we are separating the sections so that students can see what's going on. If you follow the presentation, you'll find the section where it talks about fancy fonts and Emojipedia. Check it out. It's 10:28. Aren't we working until 10:30? Am I correct, Carrie?
It's 9:45 to 10:45, Jennifer. So you have a little bit more time.
Oh, thank you so much. So let me come back here. I asked Breck to go ahead and respond. So let's go ahead and see that. See? What time's lunch? You know that's a question our junior high school students are going to ask.
Yes, I do.
And Anthony is good to be here, and Nicole can't wait to see me. And do you see how Devin hasn't responded even though he's a Google innovator? I'm just giving him a hard time. I can tell that because I put my initials. If you put your initials, you know.
Jennifer, I'm so sorry. Quick question, because I don't know the answer to this one. Can they comment directly on resources, materials, or only on assignments?
Only on assignments. Assignments and questions. So you're just to clarify, we're talking about this right here. This material, you would not be able to comment on a material. You would possibly you would be on a material down at the bottom, there is always class comments people can write on, but I don't use that feature as much. All right.
Is it possible to pin announcements to the top of a Google Classroom stream?
Yes.
That's a really good question.
Oh, no, the answer is yes. Okay. So if I have an announcement
But couldn't see the power account. What am I doing wrong?
and so I have an announcement and then I have a lunch schedule because that's all the kids really care about is food and, oh, friends. They care about friends. All right. So I have 2 announcements, yes? Do you see the 3 dots? Click on the 3 dots and you can move it to the top. You can't pin it. If you want to pin something on the classwork, this is your solution. I'm going to make an assignment or a material, your choice. I'm going to call this my Zoom link, for example. So I'm going to do a video camera. Emoji. Emojipedia is also a resource. Where am I? Okay. So I'm going to call this my Zoom link. I want this at the top. And I'm going to add my link right here. So act like it's there. Because I am purposely not choosing a topic and everything else has a topic, it's going to be at the top. And I was supposed to hit assign. There we go. So this is the best part, best solution for pinning is to put it in the classwork with no topic and keep it clean. Nothing else goes with it. All right, should we continue?
One more. Can't you also make a topic that stays on the top?
Yes, you can. Well, what's going to happen is if I make a new topic, it's going to automatically go to the top. But when I type a second new topic, it's going to push it down. Do you see how that happened?
Yes.
So it's not pinning it, but you can make a topic and you can click and drag. Click and drag to move. If you have no topic, you're not going to have to drag it. So I think this is fewer steps. And I'm all about efficiency.
Okay, one more, maybe one more. I'm not going to say one more because they keep asking questions that I don't know the answers to, or I probably know them, but it's just so much faster for you to do it. Can you please go over scheduling assignments for multiple classes?
Honestly, I think Devin put it into the chat. It's something I just learned. So here is my promise to you. I'm going to, it's going to be an extension. That's what I know. I'm going to create a video on it. Notice we have our classwork guidebook. Do you see where it says classroom assignments? I'm going to make that video and I'm going to add it to this section. So I don't know this answer now, but I will add it and this is where you can look at it.
So coming soon. Thank you, Jennifer, because you're always so great about that.
Follow me on Twitter and I'll post it on Twitter. Okay? If anyone wants to put my Twitter handle in for me, I'd appreciate it. All right, so let's talk small group instruction real quick. So in this example, we have a CNN 10 project. Having students work in isolation, they've been isolated since March. Come on, we want to learn from each other. So what I'm doing is this is an actual assignment I gave my students. It was a full class assignment, but it can be a small group. And here are their answers. This is my son, Ethan. Here's Diego, Jeremy, and Roger. They wrote down something that they learned, what question they had, and then they answered each other's questions. And that's pretty awesome. We want students learning together. And maybe that 30 students in one slide deck is kind of scary, but the small group is more reasonable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click create. I'm going to create an assignment. And this is going to be small group A, probably wouldn't call it that. Definitely do your instructions. And I'm going to create the documents for them. Now, I'm going to add it in this case. Notice I clicked on add. This is something I already own, so I'm just going to do this one here. I have to change students can view to students can edit. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 students, and I want them to work in groups of 3. So I can uncheck the name. And I'm going to have Amy, Anthony, and Nicole, because it's just easier that way. Only these 3 are going to be able to see the document. I'm going to click assign. And I know that this, okay, so what I would, and oh, I did not put it in a topic, did I? All right, so Brooke and Nicole, if you guys would jump into this document real quick, and you'll notice that only those 3 people are going to see the assignment. Except I already had you guys look at it, didn't I? Okay, let's call this a fail. And let's try this again. Because it's a students can edit file, I can delete it and I can just fix it. I don't know why I did cheats. Just go with me. Students can edit. Only these 3 students. So once again, do you see where it says, normally it says all students. I'm going to uncheck it. And I'm going to assign it to just these 3. Did you guys see how I failed forward? That's what I would like you guys to do. Now, only these 3 students will be able to join. And I'm going to ask those 3 helpers to go ahead and open this assignment.
At the end, if there's time, they would like to be able to see how to keep the Zoom link at the top of Classroom once again.
Okay, that's a
Thanks.
super one, so I'm going to do that next. So notice I have my 2 people. No one else, Devin doesn't see this, no one else in the class sees this, and they can do the work on this assignment in a small setting. All right, let's come back. And the Zoom link is super important, yes? Have you ever had too many documents open at once? All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my cursor up to the top of the tab. I'm gonna do a right click. Do you see the menu? I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna move my cursor up to the top and I'm gonna do a right click. It's a 2-finger touch on a Chromebook and I'm going to close everything except what I need. It's pretty cool. Zoom links. First of all, this does not belong here. All right. Zoom link. I want it to stay at the top. The way I did this was to create an assignment. It could also be a material, but the reason why I want it to be an assignment with a possible due date on it is because I want it to go into the Guardian summaries, which are mentioned in this presentation. So I am going to use I like my icons because I like color. And I'm going to call it Zoom link number 2. I'm going to click on add. There are 4 options. I have a link, so I'm going to choose link. And I'm going to paste this link. Okay, just act like that's it, okay? So this, I paste the Zoom link. No points. Due dates, I'm thinking about putting it on a due date because I want parents to know about this. And I would change it every week. And then I would put absolutely no topic. I click assign. And because it has no topic, it's up at the top. As long as as long as everything else has a topic, so let me move this out of the way, it is the only thing that's here. I moved you. Listen to me. Okay. If I have nothing else, then the students know to click right here and go to the link that I provided. See how I can't even move anything up again? It's not even possible. They'll go to the link and then they'll click on the link.
Jennifer, can you put the Zoom link into the banner?
No. And that's because this right here is a picture. And so we're probably talking about like going from Google Meet to Zoom. There are wonderful features in Zoom, but if you were teaching summer school or you're using Meet during the summer or in spring, might be what you're comfortable with. The solution is to put it at the top with a topic.
Even though you can't put it in where they can click on it, you can still put the numbers. You just put the numbers in as a picture.
Yes.
That's only one thing.
And so if you had a short link for it, that would work. All right. So we have small group. You can do partners. Now, those people who are using StudySync, check out the DFP website. I worked really hard to explain how to use StudySync. You can actually connect your Google Classroom to StudySync and the students click on one link in Classroom to open it, one link. We have to go through 1,000, they go through one. Here is an example with questions from StudySync. When you go to the StudySync website on our page, it will have Catlin Tucker. She just got her doctorate. She's my English goddess. And this is one of her projects where she puts a discussion question in the middle and she puts the students part on the side. And what she recommended is to basically use the small group approach that I showed you. Where, let me go ahead and open this. All right. So her suggestion would become to create assignment. I like numbers. And this is going to be Devin and Nicole. I already have the assignment, so I just want to add it. Now I'm going to do something real quick. Let me make a copy of it so not everyone is on this. Let me watch it up at the top. And I am going to assign it to just those two students. What I'm going to do, students can view, students can edit. And maybe this is only assignment for a few students. So I come here. I said this is going to be Nicole and Devin. And I always put a topic unless it's a Zoom link. Definitely put a due date because then it will show up on the Guardian summaries and then I can assign it. And only Devin and Nicole can see the assignment. Now, I see it's 10:44 and you've been in presentations and you still have a lot more.
Jennifer, can I jump in just real fast? So on your screen, if you go up to where you assign, can you pick an assignment that you already have and edit it?
Only if.
No, but what I was going to say on the multiple classrooms, if you go to when you're assigning it, if you go to the 4 drop down menu, that's where you can easily assign it to multiple classrooms.
You can assign it to multiple classrooms using reuse post, yes.
No, you don't have to reuse the post.
You're talking about possibly, I'm not sure if I can go back and do this later, but you might, when I create the assignment only, I can assign it to multiple classrooms, yes. but
Right
it's when I
there.
create it, not when I edit it. And that
Right.
works for everyone gets the assignment. So yes,
Yeah.
you can do that. All right. So if we had longer, which I'm sure you're grateful to get a break right now, we would create an assignment for a small group. So here are the questions. Do you feel comfortable enough to create a collaborative assignment where all students are on the same slide deck? Do you feel comfortable to give students feedback and maybe do it all in one drop so that you can save your time because your time is valuable? And you haven't created the small group assignment, but you do know how it's possible. So this was a success criteria. This is what our goal was. Did we meet that? Please let us know on our eval. Also in this presentation, I did not get it. Google broke yesterday because there was an update, but I can click on 2 buttons in Aries and all of my work from Classroom, including scores, comes. Those directions are there for you. Please allow a couple of more days for it to start working again, but it's broken at this moment because there was an update. You can click 2 buttons in Aries to pull in your assignments and scores from Classroom. You can use Aries and add them to your Guardian summaries. Turn off notifications because you have a lot of co-teachers. Free resources are listed, and those are the directions for Aries. So if you wouldn't mind, please complete the eval. Is the eval over in the chat?
Yes, it's in there.
All right. So thank you so much for coming. And I will be in the chat right now if anyone has questions.
Jennifer, that was awesome. I just want to tell you thank you for that. There was a lot of things that I didn't know, but that was just really clear. And I think that sometimes people should know that we are grateful for you.
Aw, thank you.
A lot of thank yous in the chat, Jennifer.
I saw that Gen Fan Club, which is humbling. Thank you, Devin. That means a lot from your Google Innovator. Santa Cruz he was my son's PE teacher last year. Thank you so much. We have our music teachers. Thank you. Compton's representing today. If you
Jennifer, did you take a minute to share how if they had any help tutorials that are not on DFP, that there's a request form as well?
There is,